How would you feel if you found out later, if they admitted to you, hey, oh, you know, on the first date, I told you I collect South Park video games? No, that's not true of me at all. No, I've never really watched the show. I'm not really into it. When you find out that someone really tried to initiate and sustain and define this relationship on the basis of a lie, on the basis of concealment, on the basis of dishonesty, even if it's a lie about something trivial, the fact that the relationship was built on a lie is profoundly negative, out of all proportion to the particular thing being lied about.
Then he tries to hold my hand. Hold my hand! We met like 35 minutes ago. So I just say, hey, no, I don't really want to hold hands. He then says, you didn't actually think I wanted to hold your hand, right?
Some reflections on PUA culture, pickup artists, dating advice. Gabbie Hanna, who you're about to hear from, went out on a date with a guy who was a highly trained pickup artist. And the angle I want to bring to this is really reflecting on the importance of sincerity itself. In a world where real affection, real interest, real love is invaluable, is so important to our lives. But fake affection, fake love, something that doesn't just have zero value. It's something that's actually revolting. And that's why, in my opinion, pickup artistry will always be counterproductive, apart from being kind of bad and evil and wrong.
He then, in this hole-in-the-wall sushi restaurant, stood up, extended his hand, and said, would you like to dance with me? No music, out of the blue, mid-conversation, like 4 other people in the restaurant, including the sushi chef and the waitress. So then I say, was that a pickup trick? And he said, no. He reached around my neck, grabbed my hair. I jumped back and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? I don't like being touched. He then said, oh, I was just thinking how cute you would look with your hair like this. I said, is this a pickup trick? He said no. He then told me, without me asking, how sensitive he is, how much he respects his mother, how much he hates one-night stands, and I asked him, is this part of a pickup trick? And he said no.
So if this type of prepared dialogue could accomplish anything, the best thing it could possibly accomplish would be just getting the woman's attention. Just on that most basic level, making her notice you, not even be interested in you. If, for example, you have a coworker in the office, like a huge office with many, many employees, and she really doesn't even know you exist, at that absolute most basic level of having an incident occur where they notice you and that you're not just another face in the crowd and you have a dialogue at all, that would be the most flattering account I could give. The greatest possible positive benefit you could get from these types of methods would just be at that level of being noticed rather than ignored on a first encounter, so to speak. And then beyond that, whether or not this person is interested in you, whether or not this person likes you, whether or not this progresses towards sex, love, marriage, or at least some kind of dating, that has to be based on something real, right? That can't be based on deception. It can't be based on flattery. It can't be based on a prepared script. So one of the ways in which what this particular guy is doing is wrong with this particular girl is she already chose him. She actually selected him from a dating app. She already took an interest in him. She noticed him. She went out on a date with him. She's interested in getting to know who he really is. He already has her interest. He already has her engagement. She's willing to sit with him in a restaurant for several hours. Okay? So in terms of what phoniness can do, tactics, this kind of contrived dialogue, you're way, way, way past that, right? But at this stage, what contrived dialogue, phoniness, deception, and flattery can do is completely poison the relationship. Right? And this would work if the roles were reversed. I mean, these examples she's giving, so someone who lies to you about their relationship with their own mother, okay, what kind of person is that? What is your opinion of someone who lies to you about their relationship with their own mother in order to manipulate you. Like whether you're the man and you're imagining this to be a woman, or you're the woman imagining this to be a man, what is the possible positive way forward? And whatever he could have said in that window of time, that he already has, in a situation where he already has her attention, he already has her interest. Whatever it was, as long as he's keeping it real, at least that will lead to the progress of this relationship on the basis of some kind of real assessment of who you are and how compatible you may or may not be. A quick example. Let's suppose you meet someone of the opposite sex, or if you're that way inclined, someone of the same sex that you're romantically interested in, and the first thing they tell you about themselves is that they collect South Park video games from the South Park TV series. And they seem really into it, and they're really jazzed about it, and they're telling you about this, and you're like, oh, okay. Let's just say you're not particularly a fan of South Park. You don't hate it, but you don't really know anything about this, and you try to feign interest or whatever. Okay, that conversation goes wherever it's going to go, and you kind of judge them accordingly. All right, you know, this person collects memorabilia for this mainstream TV show, but however that scenario plays out, good, bad, or indifferent, how do you feel when you find out that it was all a lie? How would you feel if you found out later, if they admitted to you, hey, oh, you know, on the first date, I told you I collect South Park video games? No, that's not true of me at all. No, I've never really watched the show. I'm not really into it. This isn't just the difference between something being positive and being a zero. When you find out that someone really tried to initiate and sustain and define this relationship on the basis of a lie, on the basis of concealment, on the basis of dishonesty, even if it's a lie about something trivial. You know, her example was he's lying about his relationship with his mother and this kind of thing. But, okay, you're lying about your hobbies or interests or something. The fact that the relationship was built on a lie is profoundly negative, out of all proportion to the particular thing being lied about, because nobody really cares whether or not you collect South Park memorabilia. But when I was first getting to know you, I know that you intentionally lied to me about that because you thought this relationship was going to proceed on the basis of you deceiving and manipulating me. So in this way, the whole PUA approach vitiates and undermines everything.
So not only did he try the most basic textbook pickup tricks, but he lied about all of them to my face. And I know this because he later admitted to me that all of those things were indeed pickup tricks. Date's over, we go outside. He asked me if I want to go on a walk around the neighborhood. And I think, well, as long as I don't go down a dark alley, it's probably fine. Then he tries to hold my hand. Hold my hand! We met like 35 minutes ago. So I just say, hey, no, I don't really want to hold hands. He then says, you didn't actually think I wanted to hold your hand, right? And I was like, okay, yeah. And then he goes, seriously, I didn't. I just wanted to hold your hand to see if it was calloused and gross. Needless to say, I'm not holding his hand. Conversation's weird. He actually ends up walking me home. And as we're at the crosswalk, get this, he full-fledged, in for the kill, tries to kiss me. I didn't even want to hold your hand yet. What in God's name makes you think that I want to kiss you?
The only thing I have to say in the outro is the same goddamn thing I said in the intro, okay? We live in a world where nothing is more precious, nothing is more meaningful, and nothing is more valuable than real love. And look at the extraordinary lengths people are willing to go to get it. Look at the extraordinary lengths people are willing to go to just to have a chance at it, right? But real love has to be based on real mutual knowledge and understanding, right? Real self-knowledge to begin with. You got to know who you are, and then you got to take the steps to share that with someone else. It can never be based on, you know, contrived sketch, scripted dialogues of this kind. It can never be based on manipulation or flattery between people. What those techniques lead to instead is fake love. And fake love isn't just some kind of cheap substitute for, you know, real engagement, real relationships. It's actually something bad and evil and wrong. I think a lot of the critique of PUA culture has kind of been based on a phony sense of outrage, of, you know, how dare you? And there's a deeper question here. Everyone has the audacity to lie. little children lie constantly. It doesn't take courage or special training or going to a camp to learn how to lie. What little children need to learn is the importance of telling the truth. We're all born liars. We're all born dishonest. It's honesty that's second nature. It's honesty that you have to practice, right? The problem with pickup artistry, the problem with this dishonest approach to relationships in your life, is that ultimately what you end up with is a kind of counterfeit currency in the part of your life that matters most. Not just your work life. It's one thing if you tell lies for a living. Many of us do. You may have signed a contract that obliges you to lie, or at least not disclose the truth. Many of us tell lies for a living. We tell lies at the office. We tell lies at school, or whatever it is. But when you have that counterfeit currency in the most intimate circle of your life, the woman or the man you come home to at the end of the day, think in the long term the corrosive effect that's going to have on your moral character, on who it is you're supposed to be. Ultimately, you yourself will end up as a victim of this same strange cycle of what I'm here calling fake love.